Do you want some? I'll give it you.
And we are back. Welcome to another tutorial video on the channel. Firstly, thank you very much for everyone who has shown all their support in the last few tutorials with my 433 and my 352 tutorials respectively, both hitting way over 1,000 views, which is more than this channel has ever had before. So thank you very much for that. Today, we are going to be talking all things corners. Now, I believe over the course of the last couple of weeks, I've developed a near-on unstoppable corner taking technique. But before we actually get to the corner itself, I need to talk to you about the initial setup and why this has become so effective. So firstly, we have to go to the tactics screen, where you'll see right here that we have our corners set to 1. What this means is that when we actually come to taking the corner, our players will essentially be lined up in a row of 3. The main player that we're going to be aiming for is the man at the front post. However, on a couple of occasions, we may choose to hit it to the guy at the back. Now, the important thing to note is that the player at the front post will always be the player in your team that has the highest combination of jumping and heading accuracy. Now, at the moment in my Legends Only RTG team, that player is Tim Cahill. As you can see, he has 95 jumping and 94 heading accuracy. That means that even though he is 5'10", he is always going to be the player on the front post for me because I haven't got another player in the squad. Even with chemistry styles added onto them as well, I don't have a player with that combination as good as that. Now, you'll notice on some of these clips that when Cahill is not on the pitch, the player at the front post is Ian Rush and not Patrick Kluivert, despite the fact that Kluivert has 88 jumping and 88 heading accuracy compared to Rush's 84 and 89 respectively. The reason for this is because of the new things they've introduced this year, which are playstyles. And Rush, as well as Cahill, has the aerial playstyle, which improves his jumping. So even though he has a base stat of 84, because he has the aerial playstyle, it actually then overrules Kluivert's 88 jumping. And I have to stress, to maximize your potential of scoring as many goals as possible from this corner tactic, it is really useful to have that front post player having both the aerial playstyle and the power header. Obviously, in an ideal world, we would have aerial plus and power header plus. Thankfully for me, Cahill has aerial and power header plus already, and you will notice in these clips that when he scores headers, he actually gets them in with a bit more power than what Rush does. In addition to this, having the acrobat playstyle as another option as well then allows you to score lots of overhead kicks, and of course, they then have improved accuracy as it states from the acrobatic trait as well, which in certain other situations can allow you to just score outright volleys from these corners as well. One final thing to note about the playstyles. Just because a player has acrobat, it doesn't mean they're always going to go for an overhead kick. Now, obviously, it does mean they are more likely to do so. However, it is within your power to actually tell them what they want to do. Now, obviously, with Cahill, he's got the aerial and the power header plus, which I would prefer to use over the acrobat playstyle. So if you want them to do an overhead kick or a standard volley, you pull the left trigger, which has been the case for many, many years in FIFA and now EAFC. However, a new mechanic they've added this year is that if you pull the right trigger as well as the left trigger, it will force the player to go for a header. And this is massive for those players that do have the power header plus. And trust me when I say a lot of players have been scoring power headers with this ability and the possibility of me being able to actually force them to do it by pulling both triggers right here. Now, you might be wondering what is the best way to maximize the potential of having the best possible player at that front post on these corners. However, for the Ultimate Team players that are watching this video, which I'm sure a lot of you are, EA have released the Trailblazers centre-back evolution, which allows the centre back that you choose for that evolution to gain the aerial, the power header, and the acrobatic trait. So if you haven't done this evolution yet already, try and find someone that is both tall, has really good jumping and heading accuracy already, and what you might find is then when you give them those attributes, they will become that player for you at the front post. That is essentially everything you need to know about the actual setup of the corner, how to get the best possible player in the position for the corner. Now let's look at how you actually take the corner itself.
Well, we're waiting.
So here is an actual example. We have our 3 players in a line, as we spoke about, because we're on 1 for corners. The first thing you'll notice is we've moved the corner slightly to the right as we are doing an outswinger. I think it is better with outswingers, but it does work with inswingers as well. As you see, our opponent moves their goalkeeper out. We have then pushed the right bumper to call Cahill closer towards us. The benefit of doing this is it now means that we are in front of the goalkeeper, but it also baits our opponent to then bring their front post player closer to us because they think we're going for a short corner. We then hit it just under 3 bars of power, creating a lovely gap in between our opponent's 2 players, and the goalkeeper is now out of position as well, which just means it is a simple header for Tim Cahill with the power header trait to simply head it past the absolutely useless goalkeeper into the back of the net. And it really is just as simple as that. As we play a full speed one for you now, tuck it inside, again bringing Cahill short, creating that space in between. It's another power header and it's another goal. In the next game of Evo Lounge, this time our opponent didn't move their goalkeeper out, but it doesn't matter because we are focusing on creating that space between the 2 players in our opposition defence, allowing our power header player to have the ability to then just drive those headers past the opposing goalkeeper. Now that doesn't necessarily mean it always works, but what we can then do is use it to basically start abusing our opponents. Here we see our opponent move their goalkeeper out, we play the short corner, it's well saved. However, what you'll notice now is our opponent doesn't move the goalkeeper a second time, so we are now able to play it deeper into the box and exploit the fact that we've still got a tall power header player, this time in Ruud Gullit, as it is the draft mode. And because our opponent has been scared off by the fact that we've moved our player in short on the first corner, they have then not covered the middle of the penalty area on the second corner, making it even easier for us to actually then score. And that's why this method is so effective, because it basically means that our opponents cannot use their goalkeepers to stop us from scoring corners. If they move their goalkeeper, we play it short. If they don't move their goalkeeper, we can play it straight into the heart of their penalty area. Either way, we've got our best header of the ball in the prime position to score goals, and it's as simple as that. Now we come to the clips from the Pirlo review that I put out a couple of days ago that I omitted from the video. So here you can see the Pirlo long shot where I then cut during the Pirlo video. And this again is proof of how the corner tactic works. Again, they move their keeper. We bring Rush in short, create that space, go for the header, but it is well saved. We then wait to see what our opponent does. They move their goalkeeper again. So this time we tell Rush to go for the overhead kick, and this time he is able to score. Again now from the Pirlo review, if you missed that video, link will be available now. We see the ball go behind for a corner. Our opponent moves their goalkeeper out. We bring Rush in short. This time we're using David Beckham as well, and Rush is able to score. Now the reason why using someone like David Beckham is useful is because they have dead ball plus. And the benefit of having dead ball or dead ball plus is that not only are the corners more accurate, but they are also hit with more power. So if they are going to move their goalkeeper, or if they are going to commit that defender, if you've got someone with dead ball taking the set piece, it's going to get to your forward even quicker, giving your opponent even less time to react to it. And before you know it, or before they know it, the ball is in the back of their net. And unbelievably, this is another clip from the exact same game where this time we're from the other side of the pitch. Our opponent has failed to learn from his mistake in the first half. Again, we've pulled it short. Again, Rush goes for the acrobatic, and it is 2-0, and both goals come from this unstoppable corner technique. Here we see another example of using both the front post and the back post. We initially go for the front post header with Cahill that is well saved. That then baits our opponent into pulling their goalkeeper out on the second corner, which we hit beyond their goalkeeper to Laurent Blanc at the back post. And because we have multiple good headers of the ball in our team, we are able to score once again. And this is what I'm saying. It's not just about the one corner. It's an entire method. It's using the fact that we can pull their goalkeeper and pull their defenders to where we want them rather than where they want them. And that creates opportunities at both the front post and the back post. And the final clip from the Stoichkov player review, just because I think this clip is absolutely hilarious. We're up against 2 players here, and when we call Cahill short, it actually baits both of our opponents forward, leaving Cahill a simple volley on his left foot, making use of his acrobatic trait, and it's yet another corner goal. that is going to be it for today's tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if you're going to be giving this a go. I genuinely think it is the easiest way to score corners right now. The power is in your hands. Manipulate your opponent's defenders. Get the right players in those areas of the penalty area, and you will score countless goals from corners, and I'm sure will get you much more wins in those crucial games. Thank you very much for watching.